morning, viewers. This is Tax Insight Monday. My name is Oyeka Maraket. I'm the SSA to the Governor of Nigeria. Today, I'll be discussing within the agency with the Executive Director of Assessment, Mr. Ben Okafor. He's here in the studio with me. Mr. Ben, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Let me not over-introduce him, just in case you want to tell us something we have not heard before. So, Mr. Ben, over to you.
Good morning, viewers. This is Tax Insight Monday at the headquarters of Anambra Internal Revenue Services. Like the coordinator or the anchor person has rightly said, my name is Ben Okafor. I'm the Executive Director in charge of assessment and other directorate that I oversee.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. We like the smile on your face. This Monday morning is quite bright, okay, and we hope that we're going to brighten your day as we take the discussion further. Thank you. So very quickly, a few things I would like Mr. Ben to discuss with us are the internal workings around his directorate. So he might just mention to us what are those departments and units that are within his directorate very quickly.
Thank you, Madam SSA Technical. Like I said, I oversee Directorate of Assessments, which you have various departments under it.
Yeah.
Principally, you have personal income tax, PAYE, high net worth individuals. You have gaming. You have the presently launched Anambra land use charge.
Oh, I see.
Anambra property land use charge. Then you have capital gain. You have withholding tax. And also I oversee some other departments.
Yeah.
Like SMRR, State Motoring Registry.
Yeah.
And non-taxes, that is road taxes. Which includes tax.
Yes.
And I forgot to mention, I actually oversee business premises under my directorate.
I see.
Etc., etc.
I see. So you can see that the work that he has to do is a whole lot. But while he was mentioning the departments and units under him, I heard PAYE. He just said PAYE, or he said PAYE.
Yeah.
But I know that in other subnationals, PAYE is like the mother hen of their agency, you know, something that gives them the bulk of their revenue.
That's right.
So maybe he can take us very quickly again into what PAYE is about and how PAYE has been faring since he resumed office.
Thank you so much for that question. Just like you rightly said, PAYE is usually called pay as you earn.
Yes.
So that I call it PAYE, pay as you earn. And it comes across everyone who earns salary in any organization, okay, be it at federal, state,
or local.
And also down the line, companies, corporate and non-corporate. Anyone who pays any person's salary deducts PAYE and remit to government. Before we came on board sometime last year, PAYE has not really been doing well because some of those areas our staff supposed to get people onto our tax net and being neglected. More often than not, we say that Anambra is over 80% unstructured, informal. Unstructured, informal. Informal in the sense that we have more markets.
Companies that have no records.
Companies that don't maintain records. But that is not so. Sometimes it moans my understanding as somebody who has a limited liability company.
Yeah.
Maybe Okeke and Sons Limited.
Yes. Or a registered business.
You still call yourself informal.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because you run bank activity, you have records with the bank.
You pay your workers.
You pay your workers, yet you say you are informal. So we now begin to look how to encourage them to come into our tax net.
Yes.
And to let them know the need for them to pay tax on the salary they pay to their workers.
Yes.
No matter how little.
So that's what that PAYE is about.
That's what PAYE is all about.
I see.
So by so doing, when we now notice that lacuna, so now begin to, reach out by encouraging our staff on things they need to do.
Yeah.
Recently, the outcome of the restructuring, how will I call it? The seminar you held several times for some of these staff to know what they ought to do.
Yes.
And it's paying off.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. It's looking
so
good.
You can see a whole lot of progress. But I tell you, what the executive director assessment has said is not a lie at all. Because in the last 2-3 months, at least our performances are indicators that some of these things he said we've been doing are working for us. So thank you. But we also want to use the opportunity to encourage companies. If you have confusion or inquiries about how to pay your staff payee, you come to us, or you go to our stations, or you call us on our customer care. So the conversation is actually getting quite interesting. If I will recap very quickly, he's mentioned a lot of departments and units under him, and he took us into what payee is about and the people who are expected to comply with payee remittances. But sir, I would like to know, is there any unit specifically or department within your directorate you think has been very challenging? And why do you consider them very challenging?
Thank you for that question. Yeah, when we, by the way, it's barely a year now we took, we
came into
office.
Yeah.
With the current chairman. The greatest challenge we faced was this non-taxes. Those unstructured sector of
the
economy where we generate our internal revenue.
Yeah.
Particularly the haulage section, the parks, market, especially the haulage section and the parks is where you have the greatest noise because of the level of the abriganda, unruliness and not conforming to the usual norms.
Yeah. So how have you been handling it?
Well, over time, it's a question of advocacy and trying to let them know that tax is not about Igbos of war. That is the Igbo adage. Igbos of war means
by fire, by force.
Fire, by force, trying to use all manner of criminality to extract money from people.
Yeah.
And you can't say that we are making a lot out of that sector, but yet it gives us a lot of headache.
I see.
Because that's what gives the state a very bad image. And more often than not, it's non-state actors that you see going to extract money from road users, all in the name of Anambra internal revenue.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we have nothing to do with that.
I see.
So this is the greatest headache. But we've been trying to sanitize it and things are looking good. I can tell you in the past 6 months, we have not had any kind of bad news or somebody having to wake up the chairman early hours of the morning. Or
start calling Mr. Governor all over the place.
No. We're trying to sanitize it over time and it's looking good.
Viewers, you can hear that very clearly. Anambra is not as noisy as it used to be. Everywhere is looking calmer now, but it's a gradual process. It's not something that can just completely go away overnight.
Exactly.
But I must reassure all of us that we're not relenting. Like the ED have said, the office is not relenting to make sure that there's full calm in this informal sector. So thank you so much, Mr. Ben Okafor. It's been wonderful having you in the studio. I'm enjoying myself at the same time, learning a lot, even though I've been in tax for a while. But you can't stop learning. Learning is something that happens, should happen to you every day.
That's right.
And all the rest of your life. So tell us, what are those revenue buckets within your directorate that you might want to enlighten the general public more about? Those revenue buckets under you, sir.
Thank you for that opportunity once again. Like I earlier mentioned, there are various revenue windows under my directorate. But principally, I want to talk about business premises. And I want to talk about the recently launched Anambra Property Land Use Charge, which has actually taken off.
Yeah.
And also the market.
I see.
Then, business premises are people who you have a place, you do your business. And every year, you pay your renewal if you have not registered. First of all, you have to first register.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount you have to pay. Then every year you do renewal. And that business premises, what we now call it is general purpose levy.
Right now,
which includes the business premises and fire service.
Okay. General purpose levy.
And we have the nature of business you have, we all have it in our platform, on our system.
We determine what
you determine what you just press by press of button, you know.
Select your sector,
yes,
select your size of business.
Exactly. Select what you're supposed to pay.
Yeah, I think I've tried it.
And once you pay it, maybe you are a semi-manufacturing company.
Yeah.
Why I need to emphasize this, because often than not, we usually have problem with that. And I let the general public to know, if you pay your business premises and you are into manufacturing,
yes, sir,
and you have small trucks that you use in distributing your goods within and outside Anambra, you're not supposed to pay haulage. All you need to do is make photocopy of the receipt or the certificate given to you on that business premises, put it as part of your particulars in those vehicles.
I see.
So if you run into any of the
collectors,
revenue enforcers, you just present it and you have a free passage.
For real?
For
I'm not sure the general public knows. So you've heard it and it's true. So if you're into manufacturing or whatever relevant sector that this concerns, just pay your business premises, attach the evidence in the vehicle that is moving around. But before we continue, we need to take a quick break. But Mr. Ben, when we return from that break, you will tell me the difference between revenue window and revenue bucket, because I heard it clearly. When I was asking my question, I said, tell me those revenue bucket that you want to enlighten the general public on. When you wanted to respond, you said revenue window. So when we return on this quick break, you will tell us the difference between revenue window and revenue bucket. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back from this quick break. I hope that you have grabbed your cup of coffee, because this conversation is getting more interesting. Believe me, I haven't left the studio because I'm also glued to this interesting conversation. We still have in the studio Mr. Ben Okafor, the Executive Director Assessment, ARS. Before we went on that quick break, remember I said he needed to clarify something. So let's hear that. Window and bucket, sir.
Window and pocket. That's the balance we had when we came into came into the board to work. And you hear several words apart from window and bucket. You hear the one they call loading and offloading.
Bam.
So we begin to ask, what is window, what is bucket? Small time we'll have doors too.
Yes, or a whole building.
Building. Principally, that's what they use to describe the various revenue types.
I see.
Generally, we call it revenue windows.
So it means that revenue bucket and window are same?
Yeah, the same. They are principally the same, depending on the one you want to use.
So hopefully, maybe something else comes into play. Maybe revenue what now?
So you see somebody just walk into chairman's office. Chairman, I'm interested in this revenue window.
I see. That's
it. So I just walked into chairman's office. Say which one is window?
Yeah.
Okay, chairman.
I'm interested in the door.
In the door. Because door is bigger and larger than the window.
Yes.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
exactly.
It's just a way we describe various revenue
types.
Types we have.
Oh, okay, cool. But remember, part of the things that Mr. Ben Okafor promised to enlighten us more about are those revenue buckets that we need to know more about. So you have spoken to us about business premises, and now you take us into property tax, which you said you are going to take us into, and then maybe markets. So
okay, thank you so much. We, like I earlier said, those ones that we need to enlighten the public more.
Yeah.
Recently launched Anambra Property Land Use Charge.
Yes.
Which our chairman has spoken extensively. As I'm talking to you now, we have started.
Good.
And it's important that we enlighten the public more about this, because over 10 years now, Anambra has never collected any dime on property tax. So the last time they did it, they didn't get it right. In the manner and way we have tried to rejig it in terms of using technology to drive it, we believe it will go far. And what I'm pleading to the Anambra for them to embrace it. I need to emphasize, to let the public know,
Yeah, some
at least
critical things.
Critical things and the benefits
Yes,
that they will get, which over time, maybe if you overlook it, it will come to bite you.
Yeah.
When you pay your land use property and land use charge, and peradventure you now want to do your C of O,
or you want to take a loan.
Even C of O.
I saw it on paper.
Yeah, it's C of O. It's an added thing that you need to show the evidence that you have paid your land use charge.
I see.
Yes. And if you want to take a loan from bank, it's part of the requirement.
Yeah, I think I stumbled it on the paper.
You have to show evidence that you then pay. Of course, I mean, it's property that you are using to, take a loan.
Yeah, secure that loan.
Secure that loan. Most more often than the banks will to show that you'll be.
Yes, the property is yours.
Yes, exactly.
And they are truly occupying it.
And you've already fulfilled all the obligations as required by the state.
I see.
So it's important that people should take this thing serious. And we've done it in such a way that it will not be a bite, rather it will not be hard on for any person to pay. They're making it very liberal.
So any amount specifically they're supposed to pay?
Well, depending on the area, because it's being graduated, depending on the area, we're using, section. There are urban areas,
rural,
semi-urban, and so the rural areas are left out for now.
Okay.
It's just mainly urban and semi-urban.
Yeah, but gradually you go there, or they're never going to pay?
Well, we've not come to that, but let's first deal with the
urban areas,
the cities, and the semi-cities, where economic activities are flourishing. So it is important that people should embrace it, because it's for the good of the state.
And wrong with it, for the good of the state. So you finish off with market. Yeah, you wanted to.
Yes, the next one is the market. Yes, on the area of market, I would say that our economic structure in this state is mainly market. The economic backbone of the state is market. We have very large markets. And if you may recall, in the past, Onitsha is stated as the biggest market in the whole West Africa. And it stays like that too.
For real.
So every part of Anambra is market. So the state government has tried to get these things well organized.
Yes.
In a manner that we even have PG General.
Like the meeting we had. Oh, that's true. That's true.
You have PG and the various chairman reporting, well structured.
Yes.
That run the market. Yes, like it's a government on their own. So, and it makes a lot easier for us to interface with them. So, why I'm now emphasizing, recently we came out with additional, new fees the market's supposed to pay.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes.
We've been on that discussion for the past 1 year, and
it's finally come to stay.
Sometime in April, we harmonize it, and it kickstarts this 2024, so that every market know what they're supposed to pay.
Yeah.
I equally need to draw the attention on some of those people that collect revenue for us. There are difference between market that are within a perimeter and street traders who are operating outside the market.
Yes, maybe on the streets or by the corners of the streets.
So, because that has been an issue.
Yeah.
You collect market levy anywhere that has a perimeter you call market.
I see.
Those ones outside the market, you collect what we call business premises. So you don't need to jump out of the main market and see street traders who have shops along the streets
and begin to
collect market levy.
I believe that
there has been a lot of controversy over that.
Yeah.
So it's important we strengthen that.
Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Benjamin Okafor, thank you so much for being in the studio with us. I just love the energy that you brought into the room today. We can't thank you enough for that. But on a closing note, is there anything else you want the general public to know before we draw the curtain?
Yeah, thank you so much, the viewers. You cannot eat a very good omelette without breaking egg. So I encourage you to pay your tax.
Yeah.
What will your tax do? Your tax will help the performing governor,
yes,
Professor Chukwuma Soludo, to continue
the good
works he's doing.
Sure.
You can see roads being built all over the place. Schools are getting incentives. salaries are paid right on time.
True.
So pay your tax. As in
It pays to pay.
it pays to pay.
Yes. Yes,
like
true.
we say in Igbo.
Yeah.
So when there are too many people urinating in one place, peeing in one place, you can
Yes.
see the foam.
Yes.
So that's what your tax will do for you. Tax
True.
will give you dividends of democracy.
Yes.
And our
change the
governor,
face
and
of
our
our
governor
state.
has very passionate about it.
He has been.
And he's a very, very frugal manager of resources.
True.
You don't waste funds in Anambra State. You can see what your tax is working for you. So I encourage Indian Anambra, pay your tax.
Yes, it pays to pay.
It pays to pay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ben. We can't thank you enough. Tune in next week on Tax Insight Monday. Mr. Ben, what do you say? Tax Insight
Tax
Monday.
Insight Monday.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for
so
coming,
much.
sir.
Thank you.